Welcome to CBT News with Cheyenne Malone.
Good morning and welcome to the CBT News Daily Newscast. I'm Cheyenne Malone. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's a look at today's top automotive industry stories.
A decline in F-150 sales has led Ford to reintroduce stair-step incentives, a controversial practice that offers dealers bonuses for passing sales targets for certain models. The automaker's first quarter report revealed that 2023 F-150 pickup deliveries declined 10% year over year, despite an overall increase in sales. To offload its inventory, Ford now says it will offer dealers $1,000 per unit for every 2023 F-150 sold over the sales target, in addition to 2023 and 2024 Explorer models. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares claimed that the weight of EV batteries must be halved over the next 10 years to ensure the electrification transition has a positive impact on the environment. The executive comments came during the company's annual Freedom of Mobility Forum earlier this week. Tavares went on to say that current batteries required an additional 1,000 pounds in material compared to an ICE vehicle. To reduce consumption and prevent shortages, he urged the industry to focus on scientific breakthroughs that would relieve battery density. Toyota is offering lease buyers a $10,000 discount on its all-electric 2024 bZ4X SUV. The lease cash deal is currently available in the greater New York area and applies to the XLE trim. Consumers who take the discount will pay $299 per month with $3,999 due up front. The vehicle made its U.S. debut earlier this month with a starting MSRP of over $40,000. E-commerce platform Cars Direct has also discovered similar discounts worth $9,000 for the bZ4X in other states. Ford will delay the release of a 3-row electric SUV and a next-generation electric pickup due to stagnating EV sales across North America. Originally scheduled to launch in 2025, the automaker now says the SUV will enter production at its Canadian facility in 2027, while the truck will release in 2026. Rather than focusing on EVs, Ford now says it will redirect its manufacturing capacity to hybrids after setting new sales records during the previous quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Eric Schlesinger, Chief Revenue Officer at Active Engage, to discuss how dealership technology is changing the car business.
CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV.
Why don't we talk just a little bit about that one-to-one connection and the fact that you guys are, to a lot of customers, the very first live interaction that they're going to have with an automobile dealership. How critical is that?
Unbelievably. I mean, it's one of the most important things. In fact, if you look at, statistically what consumers are looking for today more than ever, they're looking for that interaction, but they're looking for that human interaction, that human connection in a way that's conducive to how they want to communicate, not necessarily to the way that the dealer. And this is the age-old thing. I mean, like, let's face it, we as dealers, we've always been trying to control the way in which the consumer communicates with us versus us trying to be present and communicate with the consumer, rather, the way that the consumer wants to communicate with us. We've always been trying to pigeonhole them instead of just being present where they want us to be present.
Yes.
And amazingly, one of the things that's come out over the last few years, especially as the millennials are becoming older and older and older, and they're now like our largest segment of consumers, that they actually believe phone calls are aggressive and that it's out of the norm. So even if you call somebody or you text somebody and they call you back as opposed to texting you back, or they call you back as opposed to emailing you back, well, you're now communicating outside of the realm in which they wanted to be communicated with. And it doesn't matter where they are. Like, we need to be able to present them with those opportunities. So if it's having those phone numbers on the website for them to be able to click the call, great. If it's being able to connect to things like Google My Business or Facebook Messenger, or being present on an Auto Trader or Kelley Blue Book or any of these other places, we need to be able as dealers to be there for the consumer in the way in which it is that they want to communicate. And if we do that, and we can sit there as dealers, as vendors, as well as in this industry, and start to build that relationship with the consumer, we're going to be that much more likely to then transact with them.
And you can watch this full interview right here at cbtnews.com. Well, that does it for our show today, but we do invite you right back here tomorrow morning on cbtnews.com. And remember, you can stay up to date with the most recent news and trends influencing the retail automotive industry by following us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And now you can find CBTs in over 70 million broadcasting households. We're on Roku, Apple TV, Android, and iOS devices. Simply search CBT News in the App Store on your smartphone or device, and you can watch our programming whenever, wherever. I'm Cheyenne Malone on behalf of all of us at CBT News. See you next time.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content.